Next up on High School Rivalry Week here on TWIB is head coach Lambert from Northwest High School and head coach Jeff Hoover from Wichita West. How you guys doing today?
Great.
Good.
Well, I want to thank you guys for coming in. We're just going to have a few questions. We're going to talk about your teams. Let's start off with you first, Coach. Tell us about your coaching background.
Ooh, man. I don't know if we have enough time. I feel like I've been around forever now. I think this is year 23 of coaching baseball, either as an assistant or as a head coach between, well, West High, Goddard Eisenhower, and now Northwest. So that's kind of my coaching background. I coach youth baseball during the summer.
Okay. And Coach who?
High school wise, I was at Bishop Carroll years ago with Coach Machaccio and myself, and then West, and those are my only high school experiences. Coached a little bit collegiately, and been coaching baseball for pretty much ever as well.
You guys play college ball?
Yes.
Where'd you guys play at?
I'm Emporia State guy under Dave Bingham.
Okay.
Johnson County under Coach Shelley.
Under Coach Shelley. Okay. Two good coaches right there.
Yeah.
So last season with your high school teams, first of all, how do you think you guys would have done last season, and how do you think that affects you moving into this season?
Oh, man, that's a great question, considering my team was going to be loaded with a bunch of people, a lot of players that hadn't played varsity for the first time. I know for a fact the chemistry would have been really good, and chemistry, I think, leads to success. Talent-wise, we would have been fine. I think we've been competing in the top part of the city league. That's the expectations anyway. But it's a great question to ask, because this year or last year would have been completely different for our program anyway, with a whole bunch of people stepping up in a varsity role that had never seen the field in that realm. So the one thing I do know for sure, the chemistry last year was going to be great, and so now that group of players, now mostly it's the seniors, they missed their junior year. I expect the chemistry to kind of carry us.
Okay. Good.
Pretty much the same thing. We lost a few guys that were going to be key contributors, but we would have been fairly young last year. This year we're obviously a little more seasoned, but some of us don't have that varsity experience yet.
Right.
But we should be okay.
So what are your expectations for your team this year, now knowing that you're going to be so young?
Honestly, same as every year. Win the city and win state. Probably the same as everybody.
Okay. Coach?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. That's the goal, right? I think the kids feel that too. And again, I think there's been a lot of nervousness. I think the kids are anxious in a lot of different ways, right? Their season got taken away from them last year, and I think, with my group, I'm assuming having a lot of seniors, they're going to be ready to go, and that anticipation, I'm sure, is at a high level right now, and I would expect, like Jeff said, you want to be one of the top teams in the city league and one of the top teams in the state, and that's always our goal as well.
Right. So tell us about some of your top players.
Well, one's in charge of this production right now, BG Productions. He's trying to make a living outside of sports. Brendan Green will come back as our number one on the mound. His sophomore year was really good. I'd like to see him get his junior year in, but that's just the way it was. Justice Hannon will be another arm for us off the mound. He'll contribute. He's going to Coffeyville, I should say. Brendan's going to Tabor, too. So we got some college-bound kids that should help us out. We have some others, too, but it's a long list of people that I expect to help us out.
Okay. Coach, who do you got?
With our main three, obviously they've all had varsity experience. These will be three seniors, and they're spoken for as well by colleges. Reese Hembry, pitcher, right-hand pitcher. Garen Plummer, also pitcher / catcher / shortstop, anywhere you want to put him. Swings it really good. And Mark Valdez, who'll play center and probably hit 1-2 for us somewhere in there.
Okay.
Really good kids.
So this rivalry that you guys have between each other, your schools, especially when you guys take the field, tell me about the rivalry.
You know what? They want to win and we want to win.
Right.
And I would say it's very cordial between. I don't think the rivalry is so much between coaches until we get on the field and we both want to win. And realistically, I've seen him out many times and he's seen me out in different venues, and there's never been any issue with that. But yeah, we do want to win, and so do they, and it's completely understandable. We expect no different, and it makes it a lot more fun, to be honest with you.
Right. Coach, your thoughts on the rivalry?
Exactly. When we play Jeff's team, we always know it's going to be close. I don't think we've had any kind of blowout here in recent memory. I mean,
Nope.
on either side.
Nope,
It's going to
agreed.
be, one thing's for sure, you're going to get good pitching. The score is going to be low. It's just a matter of who can come out at the end, getting that last run and making the few mistakes as possible. And well, I'd say I don't, the last 2 or 3 years for sure, it's been.
Oh, yes.
I mean, you don't know what you're going to. I mean, it's just going to be a knockdown, drag out, and it's the way baseball's supposed to be played. I don't want to be in blowout games. He doesn't want to be in blowout games.
Right.
It is intense
Oh, it's very.
on the field, and
Yeah. And our kids get after each other, but that's the way sports is supposed to be.
Right.
It's designed to be like that.
right. So I mean, we always know we're getting with Jeff's team. I mean, they're going to be coached well, and they're going to compete, they're going to hang in, they're going to fight, and I would want my team to do the same thing, and I hope they do.
Right. No, I hear you. I hear you.
So, give me one memory of a game that you had against West.
I mean, I don't know if there's one in particular. I think it's just all the games come down to one run, and
Yes.
that's all I keep thinking about is one-run games. Whether he's up by 1 or 2 or I'm up 1 or 2, and somehow we find a way not to win it, or he might find a way not to. I mean, it's just
Right.
my memories are just the competitiveness of the games and the one-run ball games that we seem to end up having quite a bit.
Right. And Jeff?
Mine would have been years ago, and this is what I was told. We had somehow figured out a way to scratch through the first game and beat Northwest, and I believe we were at West Side. And Matt Kelly got a base hit, I believe, to put us up by a couple of runs, and he was a 4.0 student, brainiac kid. He's doing great in life now at Wichita State. But we somehow won. We won the first game on that, and then I noticed all these people started showing up in the stands, and I'm like, what's going on? And Mr. Hudson came down, the principal, and said, hey, you know, we haven't swept Northwest in any sport ever since it's open. That's playing basketball twice a year, volleyball, never swept them in anything. He said, they're here to see if you can sweep them. I'm like, oh, wow. I didn't realize that. You know, we were just playing baseball. But we've had some really, really good baseball games against Northwest. And they are going to be close. They're going to be well coached, and we're going to get after each other.
All right.
Well, gentlemen, I'd like to thank you guys again for coming in today, especially on this cold Saturday morning. I appreciate you coming in, discussing the rivalry and talking about your top players and all that. I want to wish both of you the best of luck for this season.
Thanks.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for having us.
And that concludes this week in Player Profiles with Coach Lambert from Northwest, Coach Hoover from West High. Thank you.